Hello students, welcome to this session on voices, the sixth and the last session on active and passive voices. In this session, we shall take miscellaneous examples. So far, we have concentrated only on different kinds of tenses, but now in this particular session, we shall take up some uh, sentences which are different in nature, right? Okay, the present session pays attention to changing voices, taking example from variety of sentences that have not been covered so far. And examples from sentences like negative, interrogative, and imperative are taken for study here, right? So that is what I mean by different kinds of sentences, right? So we here I'll be concentrating on sentences like negative, interrogative, and imperative. We have not covered these things so far, so we shall take them into consideration in this session. And the objective is that it will make students to have the knowledge of all kinds of sentences that can be changed from one kind to another. Right? If you know only 8 different tenses, it is not enough. You are supposed to know also these different kinds of sentences, how to change these sentences from one particular voice to another. So then you will know, in a sense, you will know all kinds of sentences. Well, let's first take up interrogative sentences. Has Rajan praised you? Well, the first sentence is, has Rajan praised you? So looking at the sentence, you can easily identify that it is a question, right? That's why it is an interrogative sentence. It's a question. Well, the rules are same. Rules do not change. Only a bit of sentence structure, changes in these kinds of sentences. But that is also that cannot be, found in each and every kind of sentence. Look at this particular sentence. Has Rajan praised you? Now identify the subject, verb, and object. Well, has praised is the verb group. You can see it. Rajan is the subject, and you is the object. Now, only as this is an interrogative sentence, we have changed the word order, right? And look at the passive voice. Okay, the very first sentence is in active voice. See, all these examples in this particular slide are in active voice only. First of all, we shall try to change from active to passive and then passive to active. Well, has Rajan praised you? In the given sentence, we have the auxiliary verb has because the subject is a third person singular subject, Rajan. So that's why has Rajan. And looking at the very verbs has and praised, we can easily identify that it is in present perfect tense. It's a present perfect tense sentence. Praised here is in past participle and you is obviously object. Now when you change it, mind you, you cannot change the kind of sentence, right? You must retain the kind of sentence to its original form. Means it is an interrogative sentence and your passive voice construction should also be in the interrogative form only. So once again our sentence begins with an auxiliary verb. Now observe carefully. In the first sentence it is has, whereas in the passive construction it is have. Why? Read the sentence carefully. Have you been praised by Rajan? Have you been praised by Rajan? Now in the passive construction, which is your subject? Obviously you, right? So you, which is there in the object position, has come to the subject position, and the number and person of the subject you is second person plural or singular, right? So have you been, that's why have. With you, you can only use have, and obviously praised is in past participle, you need not change it, and by preposition must be used before the object Rajan, and put a question mark. Your sentence is ready. See, the first question is an interrogative sentence. Similarly, the passive construction is also in interrogative form, right? It is so easy. See, only thing is you need not, you need not be confused looking at the sentence structure. Pay attention to the verb groups, verb forms, identify the tense of the verb, identify the kind of the sentence, and then change. Well, look at the second sentence. Do you speak English? Obviously, looking at the sentence, you should be able to identify that this sentence is in simple present tense. How do we know? Because we have made use of the helping verb do, and we have main verb in root form, do speak, right? You is the subject, English is the verb, object. Well, change the sentence now. In passive construction, obviously, we know that we do not use do form. We have to introduce a be form, right? So, in place of do, our sentence begins with the auxiliary verb is. Why is? Because our subject English is a third person singular subject. So, is English, and past participle of speak is spoken. Preposition by is there. You. The subject of the active becomes the object of the passive. So our sentence will be, is English spoken by you? Put a question mark. That's all. Look at the other two sentences. We have followed the same set of rules, right? So the third one is in past continuous tense, and the last one is in simple future tense. So keep in mind the rules to follow when we have this kind of sentences, right? Things will be easy. Let's move on to the next kind of sentence. Well, in this slide, also we have, interrogative sentences themselves, but here they are WH questions. Here they are WH questions. All these sentences begin with a WH word. Well, look at the first sentence. Who is writing the exam? Who is writing the exam? So mind you, here the very word who becomes a kind of subject. Is writing verb group, the exam object, and obviously the sentence is in present continuous tense, right? And when we change it, look at the sentence structure. By whom? See, this is a fixed, this is a fixed structure we need to follow. When your sentence, active voice sentence, begins with who, or passive voice sentence should begin with by whom. It is fixed. You cannot change it. So by whom is fixed. So continue. By whom is the exam being written? By whom is the exam being written? As it is a continuous tense sentence, we have introduced the form of be, being, and we have changed the main verb right to its past participle form written. So same rules, no changes. Only thing is the sentence structure changes. You need to pay attention to it, that's all. Similarly, look at the second one. When will you construct the house? Now here, when is not the subject. look at the sentence carefully. You is the subject. Will construct is the verb group. The house is the object. And now when we change it, obviously the house will occupy the subject place. You will occupies the object place. Will construct obviously will become will be constructed, but with minor alterations. And looking at the sentence, you must be able to identify that this is in simple future tense. Right. Now let us change it. So our passive voice sentence will be, when will the house? When will the house be? Obviously, this is the form of be that is to be introduced here. So, when will the house be constructed? That is past participle form of construct by you. So, passive, right? Similarly, the other two sentences, why did you mock him? So, we have do form here. So, it is a simple past tense sentence, and when we change it using the same rules, our passive sentence will be, why was he mocked by you? Then what are you eating? It is a present continuous tense sentence. And when we change it, what is being eaten by you? So rules are same, only sentence structure is different. Right. Okay, let us continue. Now come to negative sentences. They are not so special here. I do not eat mango. So here, you need not worry about the change in sentence structure. Here, sentence structure will remain same, that we use in our regular sentences. Only thing is, it's a negative sentence. You need to pay attention to the do form of verbs, because in all the other negative sentences we need not worry much, because so there is no new verb in affirmative sentences, right? Or we use do as helping verb only in simple present and simple past tense sentences. I have taken examples from those two only, and the rest is easy. Well, the first sentence, I do not eat mango. I do not eat mango. What is the tense of the sentence? Obviously, it is in simple present tense. When you change it, what happens? Identify subject, verb, and object in the first place. I is our subject. Do eat is a verb group. And mango is our object. We have two verbs here because it's a negative sentence. Not usually in simple present tense sentences we have only one verb in affirmative sentences, but here we have two because it's a negative sentence. I do not eat mango. Now when we change it, obviously we know that we cannot have do here. We are supposed to introduce a form of be. And mango is our subject, as it is a third person singular subject. Is used. So mango is not eaten. Obviously it is the past participle form of main verb eat. So mango is not eaten by me. When I occupies the place of object, it becomes me. We know that, right? Similarly, look at the second sentence. Gavaskar did not play chess. Gavaskar is our subject. Did play is our group. Not is a negative word, and chess is our object. Now follow the rules. So chess, it comes to the subject place. Did goes and was comes. because that is the form of be to be introduced here, because this is a simple past tense sentence. So chess was not, we need to retain the negative word, otherwise it becomes an affirmative sentence. Played is the past participle form of play. And by Gavaskar. So chess was not played by Gavaskar is a sentence. Third sentence, you have same pattern. And come to the fourth one, it is a bit different. It is different because we do not have regular verbs here. We have used modal auxiliary verb. I cannot take pictures. I cannot take pictures. It is very easy to change. It is similar to a simple future tense sentence where we use be as a form of be. So pictures cannot be taken by me. Pictures cannot be taken by me. It is just like a simple future tense sentence. So follow the rules to be followed when we have simple future tense sentence. So pictures cannot be taken by me. That's all. Now let's move on to the next kind of sentence, imperative sentences. Here also pay attention to the sentence structure. Look at the first sentence, shut the door. Now try to identify subject, verb and object. Shut the door. There are only two words. Forget the shut the door. The is an article, so need not pay attention to that. But basically we have two words, shut and door. And obviously shut is a verb and door is an object because it has come after verb. And where do we have our subject? Because subject comes before verb. So we do not have subject here. Right? So we do not have subject here. And mind you, this is an imperative sentence. So it could be an order, it could be a request, something like that. So when we have this kind of a sentence, our passive sentence should begin with the word let. And then bring the object to the subject place. Let the door. Use the form of be here in this kind of sentence. And past participle of shut is shut only. So need not worry. So let the door be shut. Mind you, shut in the active voice sentence is in present form, whereas shut in the passive voice sentence is past participle form. Well, to have a better understanding, look at the second sentence. Give up smoking. Give up smoking. Now once again, it has the same sentence structure. Give up is the verb. It's a phrasal verb. And smoking is, in a sense, an object. Right? So it is used, it is a gerund here. In a sense, it's a noun, right? So give up smoking. So give up is verb and smoking is object. Now once again, as this is an instruction, as this is an imperative sentence, our passive voice sentence should begin with let. So let smoking comes to subject position. Let smoking. We have to introduce be. So be. And give up. So past participle form of give is given. So given up. So let smoking be given up. So this is the passive sentence. And look at the third sentence. Mind you, this is an ordinary simple present tense sentence, but I have used it here because of a particular reason. Now observe the sentence carefully. I gift my friend a book. I gift my friend a book. So I is the subject, gift is the verb, my friend is an object. Then what is a book? Mind you, this is also an object. So we have two objects here. My friend is an indirect object and a book is a direct object. So when we have two objects, obviously we can have two passive voice sentences using each object as subject. Well, let us take up my friend as a subject in passive. So your sentence begins with my friend, and as it is a simple present tense sentence, and as our subject is a third person singular subject, we have to introduce a form of be is. So my friend is, and gift will become gifted because from present form it will be changed to past participle form. So my friend is gifted what? A book, and by me. So my friend is gifted a book by me. This is one sentence, one passive construction. Now make a book as your subject in passive, direct object. So a book once again is gifted to whom? To my friend. By whom? By me. So a book is gifted to my friend by me. So we have two passive voice sentences here from a single active voice sentence because we have two objects in the given active voice sentence. Fine. Okay, let us move on to the next slide where we have miscellaneous examples. And now here we shall try to change from passive to active voice. Right. Okay, look at this sentence, first sentence. Even this is a bit different. You are requested to post the letter. You are requested to post the letter. Mind you, this is said to be a passive construction. Now, please post the letter. That's all. Please post the letter. So, you is understood here. Subject is understood. We have only verb and object. Similarly, let the amount be paid. So, we have worked out this. Let the amount be paid. So, pay the amount. Once again, we don't have a subject in active voice. Holiday was announced. Holiday was announced. And when we change it, someone announced holiday. It's an ordinary simple past tense sentence where we have a subject and verb group only in passive construction. There's no object, and we have to have object in, when we change object, it becomes subject. We have to have a subject in our active voice. So when we are not given an object in passive voice, we have to use someone, somebody, like these words. So someone announced holiday, because we need to have a subject in active voice, right? That's why we can use words like someone or somebody. Now the last sentence, your problem cannot be solved by anyone. Your problem cannot be solved by anyone. It's a negative sentence with modal auxiliary verb can. So when we change this, no one can solve your problem. So anyone has become no one. Right? So sometimes we need to apply our common sense. Right? Okay, these are the sentences that I wanted to teach. You need further explanation also. I know it may be a bit difficult for you to understand in the very first instance. Kindly take help of your teachers, because sometimes these things cannot be taught here. They require a lot of time, and in the limited time of these videos, sometimes it becomes a bit difficult for us to teach, right? So hope you have understood at least a major part of these things. uh, Thank you.